Joey Walker.
Well, a good play by the quarterback there, Larry. He probably executed that play very well and split the Wildcat defenders and picks up the first down. And the Wildcats really played it pretty decent. It was just a well-executed play by Gordon Lee.
Patrick Tate in the game at defensive end for Fort Payne. And here is Gordon Lee at the Fort Payne 40, trying to tie this game with a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Motion to the far side, back to the near side. 40, 35, broke a tackle to the 30, and into the 20-yard line, and on down inside the 15-yard, the 25-yard line, I guess, is where they mark it down. But he broke a tackle at the 30 and picked up another 7 yards and got a first down to the Fort Payne 24-yard line.
And the Wildcats lucky perhaps that we didn't get called for a late hit on the play as a Wildcat comes stumbling in there late on the play. 16-yard
run there for John Sims. And here is Gordon Lee to the line of scrimmage with wideouts left and right. 4:32 to go in the half. Fort Payne leads it 14-6. Walker, your quarterback, sends a motion man to the far side. Ran his option. Now pitches to the far side. And a great tackle out there by Cameron Kennedy. They ran the option play. Somebody came in and forced the pitch. And then Cameron Kennedy came up in a hurry and threw Justin Sims behind the line of scrimmage for a 3-yard loss. Well, they mark him down for a 1-yard loss. But still was a good play by Cameron Kennedy.
And the quarterback for Gordon Lee, Joey Walker, comes up limping on the play and bending over there, Larry. As you see, he looks like he might be a little bit under the weather at the moment.
Was that Schrader that hit him?
I think it was Schrader that came and took the quarterback.
3:52 to go, second down and 10. Might run that little pop pass again. Here is the quarterback, Walker. Walker has a man in motion. He's going to run his pop pass, and he's going to be in trouble, and down he goes as Fort Payne came flying through there. Patrick Tate is one of the tacklers, but he got a lot of help from Jermaine Jackson and also from, who else?
That was Kevin Nixon. They forced him away from the original plan, which was the pop pass, as you mentioned. Kevin Nixon came in quick, and he had to lower the ball and try to run with it. By that time, the Wildcat defenders had caught up to the quarterback.
Third down and 10 for the team from Chickamauga, Georgia. Gordon Lee, 3:15 to go in the half. And they're going to send wideouts left and right. They have the ball at the Fort Payne 24-yard line. The quarterback is Walker. He may limber that arm again. Walker has a man in motion, going to roll straight back to pass, throws it over the middle, complete. How did he get that open? He's down to the 10-yard line, got his first down. And that was the pass to Sims, and nothing fancy about that. And he got in between 3 Fort Payne defenders and found himself wide open.
Darrell Prater finally makes the tackle. A good job by the quarterback, Larry, finding the seams. He threw it between 3 Wildcat defenders. A good job by the quarterback.
2:55 to go. Gordon Lee has it at just outside the 10. They mark him right around the 10-yard line. They can get a first down, can Gordon Lee. Walker, your quarterback. Walker will send a man in motion. Walker ran his option play, kept himself, and got hit down right around the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Fort Payne defense. They came slashing in there. Patrick Tate was one of the defenders, and a couple more were there to hold Mr. Walker to a 1-yard gain. Who else was in there, Rod?
Well, I saw Patrick Tate mainly, Larry. He's the one that made the initial tackle.
Fort Payne burns their first timeout with 2:26 to go in the half. Fort Payne calls timeout back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network with the score. Fort Payne 14, Gordon Lee 6, back in 30 seconds. Coach C.M. Sanford called this timeout to talk to his defense. Second down and 9 from the, that's just inside the 10-yard line. They can get a first down, but Coach Sanford called Fort Payne's first timeout to talk to his defense. And Roger, a big stop here would really help the confidence of this defensive team.
Well, that's true, Larry. Unlike the last time that Gordon Lee scored when they only had to move less than half the length of the field, this time they've driven the ball down the field. Mainly their success was due to a couple of pass plays right across the middle.
Yeah, and I would think Walker may go back to that pass again. He's been very successful the last few downs. His second down, Walker, the line of scrimmage, motion to the far side, going to pitch it to the far side, and he's going to be outside, and down he goes. Joe Gray is there to knock him 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Joe Gray made a great play, came back and made the tackle at the 13-yard line, third down and about 14 from the 13. Big play by Joe Gray. Raj, big play by Joe Gray.
It was. Joe did a fine job, Larry, of fighting off the would-be tackler to go and make the tackle on his own. I guess you'd say would-be blocker anyway. So Joe fights him off, makes the tackle, and it's from the 13-yard line now, third down and 13.
A minute 52 to go, but the clock is not a factor yet. Walker will probably chunk this one, and Walker will roll straight back to pass.
Kevin Nixon laid a lick on the quarterback, so he paid for whatever yardage they got. And like Ronnie said, I think the ball bounced.
They send in their field goal unit, and if they don't do any better, now they call a timeout. Gordon Lee had their field goal unit in there. Now they call a timeout with 1:13 to go in the half. So we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break here. Back in 30 seconds in the Wildcat Sports Network with the score of Fort Payne 14, Gordon Lee 6. Back in 30 seconds. A 1:13 to go in the half, and the consensus among the crew here is that he's not going to kick it.
Well, Larry, why would you kick and go for 3 when chances are, and they've already realized this, I'm sure they can't stop our offense unless we stop ourselves.
27-yard field goal attempt if they kick it. Where is Joe Gray? Joe is lined up on the far side. So here is Gordon Lee to attempt a 27-yard field goal. The kick is down. He got it up and hit it long enough, but hit it a mile to the left. He hit the scoreboard almost, and Fort Payne's defense has stopped him again with 1:08 to go in the half. 14-6 Fort Payne. He got it long enough, and we didn't really think he was going to be able to hit it long enough.
Well, he looked like he hit it straight. I just think he just set up badly and missed the thing.
Kind of like my golf swing. I do. I hit the ball straight a lot of times. Unfortunately, I line up towards the woods and the water a lot. The Fort Payne defense gets a real big hand from this Fort Payne crowd. You can hear them up there over here cheering for this Fort Payne defensive squad. And this is going to help their confidence a lot. Here is Fort Payne, 1:08 to go. You got 2 timeouts left. Might throw it long a time or two. And see what Damien does. He sends Bickerstaff in motion and gave it to Beagles. Beagles broke it outside the 30, up to the 35, cut it across the 35, got to the 40, 42-yard line with 59 seconds to go in the half.
Once again, Randall Beagles doing one of his patented run, broke a couple of tackles, made a couple of good cuts, and he picks up a first down at 58 seconds remaining here in the first half of play.
20-yard pickup for Beagles there.
So here is Fort Payne now all of a sudden in a hurry. 54 seconds to go. Damian Underwood is your quarterback, and Damian will roll the pass. He's going to throw the ball incomplete, intercepted at the 50, down to the 45, down to the 40-yard line. That was not a good pass, as he had Thomas Brandon wide open on the little look-in pass and threw it high right into the receiver's hands, and it was intercepted there.
Just overthrew it, Larry.
That's his first incomplete pass of the night. So here is Gordon Lee with 43 seconds to go. They have it at the Fort Payne 45, second turnover of the night against Fort Payne, and the clock is moving. Clock is not moving. Clock will move when they snap the ball. They're at the 40. See if Walker throws it a couple of times now. He has a man in motion, and Walker will roll the pass to the far side. Being chased, he throws it across the middle. It is incomplete. Not a very good pass at all. That ball was thrown 5 yards short of the intended receiver, and Walker was incomplete with 37 seconds to go.
Matter of fact, Larry, it was an ugly pass. Did you see the ball? It was wobbling end to end. It looked like, who was it, Billy Kilmer of the Redskins that used to claim threw the ugliest ball in pro football?
Thought that was Sonny Jurgensen.
Well, whoever it was, he played for Washington. We just saw the ugliest ball in high school football, I think.
You're exactly right there, Carl. 37 seconds to go, and here is Gordon Lee at the 40. Walker will roll to the near side. On the draw play, nothing there. He gave it to his fullback, Deems, and he tripped up as he went to the line of scrimmage, and that was the same thing happened to them that happened to Fort Payne a little while ago, and they called a timeout with 32 seconds to go. So timeout on the field. Let's pause for 30 seconds. Back in 30 seconds with a score of Fort Payne 14, Gordon Lee 6. Back in 30 seconds. to 6, Fort Payne with 32 seconds to go in the half. And Ronnie, Roger, let Roger answer this. Don't think Gordon Lee is going to be able to stop us.
No, I don't think so, Larry. They've not shown they could. Of course, we've stopped ourselves twice by turnovers, but I really don't think they can stop our offense. If we play well, I think we got this game under hand, but you never know.
It's a third down play for Gordon Lee. They have one timeout left. The quarterback Walker sends twin receivers to the near side, and he's going to throw the ball to the far side. Incomplete over the hands of the intended receiver there. They split 3 receivers to the near side, lined one guy up on the far side, and tried to hit look like a little screen pass out there, and Walker threw it through the hands of the intended receiver, Nathan Burns. Walker is 3 of 8. Fourth down with 29 seconds to go, and they're going to punt the ball. If I were Fort Payne, I'd come after this sucker. see where they've got Joe Gray. Joe Gray is, well, they got Daryl Prater back deep, and Joe Gray may come after it. Fort Payne not going to put a lot of pressure on. They're going to let him kick it away, and they're going to let the ball bounce down around the 5, bounce out of bounds down inside the 5. But that's all right. 20 seconds to go in the half. Fort Payne will just burn the clock and go into halftime leading 14-6. But you never know. They might just break Randall Beagles for 95 yards.
Well, if he gets broken, it'll go, if he breaks the play, rather, he'll go 97 because they've marked it on the 3-yard line.
Oh, okay. Well, we want a 95-yard line run down to the 2 and then let Damian sneak it in.
Yeah, we'll settle for that.
So here is Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage from the 3-yard line. And I would think Fort Payne's going to be a little careful with the football here. Damian, your quarterback, will give it to Randall Beagles, and he broke a tackle, broke another tackle, and got it up to the 13-yard line. A 10-yard run for Randall Beagles, and it'll give Fort Payne a first down. Clock is still moving. Well, they said he got a 9-yard gain. Didn't give him the first down, gave him 9 yards, and the clock will run out. But that's it. At the end of the first half, Fort Payne leads it by a score of 14-6. The Wildcats lead it, so we'll be back in 2 minutes on the Wildcat Sports Network with the score at halftime. Fort Payne 14, Gordon Lee 6.
Take it.
Ten seconds. Not yet.
Not yet.
Roger Engel is on the sideline with Coach Elmore.
Down on the field with Coach Elmore. Coach, the first half of this game, our defense have only given up 68 yards rushing. Of course, we had a couple of turnovers. One led to their only points of the game.
Well, our guys are playing hard. They made a change or two, some things they're doing on the corners, running the option and running the sweep. And I thought we got better as the game went, and I was proud down at the end. We stopped them and made them attempt a field goal, missed it, whatever. But we got to come back out and play hard. Now, they're still in the football game, and we need to put some points on the board, and we need to maybe hold them to no yards rushing, take the football away from them, not let them keep it.
It doesn't look like from the booth, at least, Coach, that they're going to be able to stop our offense very effectively. So far, like I said, we've stopped ourselves to this point.
Well, I hope that's the case. Yeah, Damian overthrew one ball there, and then, of course, but the other 2 times we had the ball, we drove down the field and scored, and we're running the football and passing the football well, but the other side of that thing is it's a team game. We've got to get a little more consistent with some things we're doing on defense, and I think they're going to come back out here and scrap, and that's what we told our guys. It's not over. We got to go play hard.
Good luck second half, Coach. Thank you. Larry, a happier Coach Elmore at the half this week.
He certainly is, as Fort Payne leads it by a score of 14 after kickoff. So back in 1 minute with the score at halftime, Fort Payne 14, Gordon Lee 6, back in 1 minute on the Wildcat Sports Network. Fort Payne won the opening coin toss and chose to defer, so they'll get the football as we start this second half, leading by a score of 14-6. And I think Coach Elmore was a little happier than he indicated there on that interview. Got to be pleased with this defense, the way they only gave up the 68 yards. And Fort Payne will get the football as we start this second half. Fort Payne is on the field. Gordon Lee is there. And we're about ready to get this second half underway. Fort Payne will drop Daryl Prater and Joe Gray and E.J. Bickerstaff deep. And Fort Payne can take this second half kickoff and drive it down and put some more points on the board and maybe put this game out of reach. It's 14-6 right now, Fort Payne. But the Wildcats had a couple other opportunities to score. Gordon Lee never stopped Fort Payne. Fort Payne scored twice. They had the ball 4 times that first half, scored twice, and gave the ball up on turnovers the other 2 times. Gordon Lee is ready to kick it away, and Hopkins is there waiting on the referee's signal. And clock still says a minute 43. I don't know. Hopefully they're not going to let that clock run down.
Well, the kicker's just getting the ball on the field now.
Yeah, they reset the clock for 12 minutes, so we're about ready to go. And Hopkins will back off 5 yards, and he'll kick it straight ahead when we get ready to go. Waiting on the signal, and second half is about underway. Fort Payne and Gordon Lee from Chickamauga, Georgia. Hopkins approaches the football, got his foot into it, knocked it short to Bickerstaff. That's Prater. Bickerstaff fumbled at the 20, and he's going to try to run this near side and fell down at the 28-yard line. E.J. Bickerstaff ran it back to the 28, where Fort Payne will set up in business at their own 28, leading 14-6.
Lee Brissendine for the Wildcats made a block there that knocked down about 4 different people of Gordon Lee. Of course, he doesn't get any credit for that, but he did it anyway.
Well, we'll give him credit.
Great.
It's at the 28-yard line when Fort Payne sets up this drive. Quarterback is Damian Underwood, and he has Randall Beagles in the backfield behind him. And McElrath is there along with Prater. Prater in motion to the far side, going to give the ball to Randall Beagles, and Beagles butted his way for a yard or two. And defensive player there for Gordon Lee,
Derek Deems.
He's happy he made that play.
He was tickled pink. Well, that's the first time they stopped running play. I bet we're averaging over 5 yards a pop tonight.
Probably are. This will be 2nd down and 2 as Beagles was held to a 2-yard gain. Just underway in the second half, Fort Payne and Gordon Lee. Fort Payne will now send McElrath in motion. Gave it to Beagles again. This time broke it outside, got to the 35, got to the 40. They got to the 38-yard line. It'll be a Fort Payne first down. After the 9-yard run, they haven't signaled first down yet. Now they signal first down Fort Payne, and Randall ran with a lot of authority on that play.
He ran really well that time, and Mr. Williams wasn't quite as pleased with what happened on that play as was the play before.
Not quite. He's a 153-pound junior linebacker, and somebody cleaned him out of the play on that particular situation. Here is Fort Payne at the 38-yard line, the double wing set for Damian, who will roll to the near side, gave it inside to Darrell Prater, found a hole, got to the 45, and got up near midfield. They'll mark him at the 48, 49-yard line, an 8-yard run for Darrell Prater. And they'll give him a 9-yard gallop, and it'll be 2nd down and a yard for Fort Payne. And I think you were exactly right when you said that you didn't think Gordon Lee can stop Fort Payne. They haven't even slowed Fort Payne down yet. Here is Fort Payne 2nd and a yard from their own 48-yard line, just underway in the second half. Fort Payne with an 8-point lead. Damian is your quarterback, and he sends a man in motion, and Gordon Lee jumps into the neutral zone. It'll be a 5-yard step off against the Fighting Trojans. Will give Fort Payne a first down.
And that was the nose guard jumping off, Shane McGill.
Coaches hate to see their nose guard jump off sides. And he's sitting right there looking right at that football, so absolutely no excuse for a nose guard to jump off sides.
No, he should have the best clue to anyone on our defensive line, Larry, since he's right over the ball as much as the center.
10-20 to go, and this will be Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage. Underwood is your quarterback with a double wing set in the backfield behind him. He sends Prater in motion the far side, runs his option play, kept it himself, got outside at the 45, and he's going to be tackled down around the 42-yard line. He picked up about 6 yards on that play, and once again, he made a good run. But, Raj, if he could have pitched that ball wide, looked like he had Darrell Prater sprinting down that near side.
Absolutely, Larry. No doubt about it. If Darrell Prater could have gotten the ball, he was gone for the touchdown. But Damian couldn't pitch it. They had him tied up. So, still, Damian picks up good yardage.
Picked up 6 yards down to the 41-yard line of Gordon Lee with 9:43 remaining in the second half. Fort Payne leads 14-8. Damian is your quarterback. Same formation they've run all night long. And now Damian will send McElrath in motion and going to run it back inside. And who's got the ball? Prater has it to 40, 35, 30 down that far sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And how did Darrell Prater come out of that pack? Now a flag goes flying in there. A late flag goes flying in. And check this flag, a personal foul against Fort Payne. And I think they're going to get Patrick Tate back around the 15-yard line. He was down there chicken fighting with one of the players, and I think the touchdown is going to count. But he was at the 15-yard line, and he got in the chicken fight there. And I hope they don't call this touchdown back. I don't know how Darrell Prater got out of that pile, but he went, what, 41 yards for a touchdown?
It was even hard, Larry, to tell who had the ball. You were confused. I was confused.
Well, it's unusual for me to get confused, as you know. It will be a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Fort Payne, and they have their choice, I think, to take it here on this extra point or take it on the kickoff. Get the touchdown. So Prater goes 41 yards for the touchdown, and now they step off a 15-yard penalty against Fort Payne all the way. This will be about a 37-yard extra point. Touchdown is good. And so Darrell Prater goes 41 yards for the TD, and Fort Payne, Hank Cobble will now have to stick up a, what are they going to do? Fort Payne, yeah, they're putting the ball down. And
be about 32 yards on it, Larry.
Yeah. Well, let's see where he puts it down. He certainly can get it there. Now the referee is going to the far side to explain the options. And Gordon Lee chose to take it'll be a 35-yard extra point attempt. As they put it down right on the 25, Hank Cobble can certainly get it there. He has a distance from here. How long was that drive? How far did Fort Payne go?
A 78-yard drive, Larry, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. 41-yard touchdown scamper by Prater.
And here is Hank Cobble to attempt a 35-yard extra point. The snap is high. The kick is away. It's long enough, and it's good, but check the penalty. I think somebody jumped in the neutral.
I think Gordon Lee, Larry.
Gordon Lee, and Hank Cobble stuck that sucker up there and knocked it back into the bushes again.
And I think they're going to, I don't know if they're going to give us an option to take it or not.
Doesn't have an option. Gordon Lee jumped into the neutral zone, and now Hank will have to stick up a 30-yard extra point. He didn't have any trouble hitting that one, did he?
It was a high snap, too.
Yeah.
Good job by Daniel Thompson to bring that ball down.
So bad luck that time. Them getting penalized. We'll have to kick it over after we've made the extra point.
So now it'll only be a 30-yard extra point. But that was a 41-yard gallop by Darrell Prater, and then Fort Payne got the unsportsmanlike penalty, and now it'll be a 30-yard attempt at the extra point by Hank Cobble. He is perfect on the year on extra points. And let's see if he can get a 30-yarder. Snap is good. The kick is away. The kick is down the middle and good. 30-yard extra point by Hank Cobble makes it 21-6 with 9:20 to go in the third quarter. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Darren Dotson patting him.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, the longest extra point of Hank Cobble's career, a 30-yard extra point, makes it 21-6 Fort Payne. And neither one of those, not much doubt about either one of those was there.
No, Larry, they would have been good for considerable yardage longer. Seems a little bit unfair after you make one and you don't commit the penalty and you have to risk missing another one. But anyway, Hank Cobble wasn't bothered, and he put a 30-yarder through, and we lead 21-6.
I don't know who that penalty was on. A couple of Fort Payne players were there, but Hank Cobble just removed all doubt and knocked it up there from 35 yards away. Now Hank will kick it away. May have been on Darian Dotson instead of Pat Tate. This will be Hank to kick it away from the 40. And he got his foot in and drove it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Caught down there on the 1, back to the 5, up the middle to 15, 20, and broke it outside at the 20, 25, 30. Racing down that far sideline and up around midfield. Fort Payne finally knocks him out of bounds. That's been an Achilles heel for Fort Payne all year long, and Sims ran that all the way back to the 47. They mark it down. But Fort Payne with a 21-6 lead, and the defense played well the first half. We'll be back out there again. So here is 47-yard line. Joey Walker is the quarterback, and Walker to the line of scrimmage. They're lined up in that double wing set again. And quick snap on the far side, gave it to the fullback, and he broke a tackle down to the 45, down to the 40-yard line, still running down to the 40-yard line. Goes number 21, Derek Deems. And Deems with a 13-yard run.
Be a first down, Larry, for Gordon Lee as he picks up 13 yards on the play. He was hit about 3 or 4 times by the Wildcats. Finally twisted him down inside the 40-yard line on about the 39.
Deems looked a little quicker on that play than he had the first half. These Gordon Lee backs, after what we've seen the past few weeks, didn't look nearly as fast, and Deems looked like he had a little speed on that play, and he's going to get another opportunity here. And he broke it outside, got inside the 35, and his gang tackled at the 34-yard line after a 6-yard gain this time.
Zane Hardinger had a chance to stop him from no game, could not hold on as he tried to tackle him around his ankles, and he picks up about 5-6 yards on the play.
Josh Miller in, replacing Daniel Thompson with how much time? Is that 8:25 there?
8:23 counting, right.
Second down and 4 for the Trojans from the Wildcat 34-yard line. Fort Payne took it in the first time they had it for a 21-6 lead. Now here is Gordon Lee trying to answer. Walker, your quarterback, and they have that double wing set. Same thing Fort Payne runs. Motion to the far side, going to pitch the ball to the motion man. Sweeping the far side, cut it back in and picked up his first down. got it inside the 30 down to about the 26. And that was John Slack on the carry. Slack picked up 9 yards, I guess, and a Gordon Lee first down. Slack carried 4 times the first half for 23 yards. And that's his first carry of the second half. Gordon Lee has the ball at the Wildcat 26. It's 21-6 in favor of Fort Payne. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion can get them right back in it. So here the Trojans are at the Wildcat 26. Walker is your quarterback, and Walker is going to run to the far side. Gave it to Weems, and Weems tackled that time. Somebody came up there and made a great tackle right around the line of scrimmage, but Deems dove in there for a couple of yards. Who that made that tackle, Rod?
Didn't see who made the tackle, Larry, but just didn't see him. See, the running back comes up limping. I'm surprised he hadn't had to come out of the game the way he's limping, but he's back in the huddle. And I believe it might have been Josh Miller over the far side involved in the tackle.
Van Burbel also was one of the players diving in there at him. Hank Cobble's into defensive end position for Fort Payne. We knew he was going to be there, and Hank is in at that defensive end position on the far side. So good to see old Hank finally getting a chance to play a little defense. They're going to run the option play. Now they're going to pick up and throw it. Going to be complete down to the inside the 20 to the 15. That's that same quick pass that they have been running all night. Picked up 12, 13, 14 yards. Down to the 11-yard line for the Trojans, and it'll be another first down for them.
There's a very little margin for error on that pass, Larry, and I look for them to try it one of these times, and the Wildcats are going to pick that thing off.
It's at the Wildcat 14 with 6:38 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads at 21-6. The quarterback is Walker, sends a man in motion, and Walker's going to run his inside reverse. Look at Fort Payne get him. They threw him down there. Great tackle there by, who is that for Fort Payne?
I believe it was number 76, Larry. That's Brandon Waller in on the tackle.
So the defensive tackle, Waller, beat his man and came diving in there and threw Slack 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think Dustin Hill also.
It'll be second down and 12 back at the 14-yard line now for the Trojans. They're in 4-down territory. Walker, your quarterback. And he's probably going to throw that little pass again here in a minute. Man in motion on the near side. Going to run his inside. Kept the ball himself. Throws it for the end zone. Has a man all alone. Touchdown. And he was about as open as you could get. And that was Nathan Burns. And Burns got behind the Fort Payne defense. And they wasn't anybody within 15 yards of him.
Looked like Joe Gray was trying to catch up to the play. And he kind of got lost in the shuffle over there. And by the time he recovered, he couldn't get to that corner of the end zone. And it's a touchdown for Gordon Lee. So
a 14-yard pass from Walker to Gordon Lee calls timeout to think about this extra point. So timeout on the field back in 30 seconds with a score of Fort Payne 21, Gordon Lee 12 back in 30 seconds from the Wildcat Sports Network. Gordon Lee goes 53 yards in 7 plays, and Joey Walker connects with Nathan Burns for a, how long was that, 14-yard touchdown pass. Gordon Lee calls the timeout to think about the extra point. They lead it. They trail 21-12, and obviously they're going to go for 2 here. So Coach Charles Hickson called this timeout to set up the 2-point play. This is a big play. Fort Payne can stop them here. Then Gordon Lee would have to score twice more, even if the Wildcats don't score again. So here is Gordon Lee on a very important 2-point conversion attempt. Whistle is blown. We're ready for play now. And Walker, your quarterback, will get his team up to the line of scrimmage and send Nathan Burns to the near side. Lines up in that double wing set. Walker, your quarterback, will bark his signals out, send the man in motion to the far side, ran his option play, and he gave it to the fullback, and he got into the end zone. That was Deems, and Deems got into the end zone for a 2-point conversion to cut it to 7 now. 5:46 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 21-14 back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Roger, they passed up the kick for the conversion and go for 2.
Well, even though they have a very fine kicker, they decided to go for 2 on the play. And, you know, like I said, they can't stop us on offense, so they might as well try to get every point they can muster.
Gus Hopkins is the kicker, and they bypassed Gus Hopkins in favor of Mr. Deems, and he got it in for the 2-point conversion. So now Fort Payne's going to need to get it back down the field and increase this 7-point lead. 5:46 to go in the third quarter. And this will be Hopkins to kick it away. Straight ahead kicker knocked it down to this near side. Going to be caught by Joe Gray. Gray at the 25, off to the far side to the 30. Got outside at the 35-40. At the 45-50 goes Joe Gray inside the territory with a flag all the way back on the 35. This one's coming back. Yeah, somebody threw a block on that far side. He must have got a clip, and it'll be back to the 20 probably.
Kicking Larry is Seth Hopkins, not Gus Hopkins.
Okay. It'll be back to the 20 as Clip will knock them all the way back to the, that's a big 30-yard step off there. They called a hold on Fort Payne rather than the Clip. Flag laying at the 25, so it'll be back to the 35, so it'll be back to the 20. That's really about a 32-yard penalty against Fort Payne. We'll mark him at the 19-yard line, so a 31-yard penalty.
Going to be at the 24-yard line.
24-yard line. Well, the way Fort Payne's offense has been moving, if they can just not turn the ball over, you kind of expect them to move right back down the field, don't you, Raj?
Up to this point, that's certainly been the case, Larry.
This will be Damian Underwood to the line of scrimmage, and he'll send Bickerstaff in motion. Gave it up middle to Beagles. Beagles broke it outside 25-30, and he's down that far sideline. And if he could have got by one, he's still struggling to the 36-yard line. Fine run there by Randall Beagles from the 24 to the 36, a 12-yard run by Randall Beagles, and quite a run it was.
Yeah, they were trying to strip the ball from Randall. One of the players had just grabbed on, wouldn't let go of the ball. Randall managed to keep a good hold on it and picks up a big game for the Wildcats.
Randall has 23 yards this half. 68 the first half is how many?
93, I guess.
So he's 7 away from his 4th 100-yard game of the year. The quarterback is Damian Underwood, and he's going to give it to the near side. This will be Bickerstaff, and E.J. is struggling and fighting and got it up to the 37, 35, 36, 37 yards. About a 2-yard gain there for E.J. Bickerstaff. His first carry of the night will result in a 2-yard gain.
Well, someone had him by the ankles and would let him go, and by the time he lost the grip on the ankle, the other tacklers were there to bring him down.
2nd and 8, 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne with a 21-14 lead. Damian is your quarterback. The wing set for Damian Underwood. Daryl Prater in motion, option play, and he gave it to Beagles. Broke a tackle at the 40, up to the 45, and he's going to be at the 50-yard line. Down to the 48-yard line goes Randall Beagles. And Randall Beagles is really running with authority from the 37 to the 48. That's a 15-yard gain.
That's right, Larry. Another first down for the Wildcats.
So he goes over 100 now for the game.
Yep, 4:18 to go, and Randall Beagles has really been impressive this year carrying the football.
Oh, yeah, he's been one real positive on this team. He's ran the ball well, and he's cut down on those fumbles that he had last year.
4:05 to go for Fort Payne. They send a man in motion to the far side. Going to roll back the pass is Damian, and he now pitches the ball wildly. The ball's on the ground, and Daryl Prater went after it. Not a good pitch at all by Damian that time.
I think really Damian maybe missed the handoff. I think he was trying to hand off to the first back through, and he missed it. By then, he kind of had to just freelance, and I really don't think that was the play. Of course, I could be wrong, but probably not.
Lost 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for Fort Payne. They move it back to the midfield squarely on the midfield mark with 3:31 to go. Fort Payne 2nd and 12 from midfield. Damian is your quarterback. He sends Bickerstaff in motion. Rolling the pass. He throws. He has a man. It's complete down to the 39-yard line to Thomas Brandon. And it'll be a half a yard short of the first down. Fine pass there from Damian Underwood to Thomas Brandon.
Brandon had to come back for the ball. It certainly was not going to be intercepted. As Brandon came back, dove to the ground, picked up the ball, and he's about 1 yard shy of a first down. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 at about the 40-yard line of Gordon Lee.
Damian 4 of 5 now for 72 yards. 1 interception, though. 3rd down and a yard for Fort Payne. At the 40-yard line, motion man Bickerstaff. This will be Beagles, and he got hit in the backfield, broke a tackle, and struggling, got his first down the near sideline, goes all the way down to the 25-yard line. What a run by Randall Beagles. He got hit just as he got the ball, broke the tackle, and then got outside, ran down this near sideline, and ran it from the 40 all the way down to the 29-yard line. Another 11-yard gallop by Randall Beagles. That's, well, a 12-yard run. They mark him inside that. So a 12-yard run by Randall Beagles. 2:36 to go. Fort Payne leading 21-14 and controlling the football. This will be Damian Underwood to the line of scrimmage. He has the wing set in the backfield behind him. He sends Joe Gray in motion this time, keeps the ball himself, and runs it outside. He's going to be at the 30, and now pitches late at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Joe Gray. And penalty flag is down. He pitched the ball forward, I think. Yep, it looked like he pitched that ball forward, and it's going to be an illegal forward pass against Fort Payne. He pitched the ball. Well, what did they say? Said he stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds, Larry. That's what the officials say.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds inside at the 18. So how far was that gain?
Well, from the 30, the 33 to the 18. Went on about the 30. No, he'd gotten down inside the 30, hadn't he?
Got to the 28, to the 28 to the 18.
To 30, 18.
So a 10-yard gain. I guess we give that to Damian, don't we? And he stepped out of bounds. I thought he pitched the ball forward. It's Fort Payne's ball, and this will be Beagles, and Randall is hammered down around the 15 after about a yard or two gain that time. Give him a 1-yard gain for Randall Beagles.
I think Randall had a very good handle on the ball that time, Larry. If you noticed, he kind of ran tentatively on that carry, and I really don't think he had the ball securely on that carry.
Do you think Fort Payne got away with a forward pitch there?
I thought it was a forward pitch when it happened, and I thought that's what had been called.
That's what I thought. But anyway, we won't argue with him. A minute 53 to go. Of course, if he was behind the line of scrimmage, he can do that, and it would have been a pass. I think he was on past the line of scrimmage. Motion man Prater. Damian will roll, throw for the end zone. It's complete on the diving catch back at the 5.
They say no good.
So they ruled him no good, and looked to me like he caught that ball. As he looked like he caught it, and you hear the Fort Payne coaches next door yelling he caught the ball. And looked like he did catch it, but they ruled him incomplete.
Well, when he got up, the ball was laying on the ground, Larry. I don't know if it laid it over there. There was no argument from him, so maybe he didn't catch it.
It'll be 3rd down now and 9 for Fort Payne, as Thomas Brandon will come out of the game. A minute 40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Fort Payne leads it by 7, 21-14. Damian is to the line of scrimmage. This is a 3rd down and 9 play. And he snapped the ball before Fort Payne was ready, and Damian's going to have to keep it running to the near side. He's going to be knocked down. As the ball was snapped before Damian was ready and nobody else moved, and Damian had a football in his hand and nobody else had moved, so he had to run with it and got thrown all the way back to the 21-yard line. A 7-yard loss for Damian Underwood, but that really wasn't his fault.
Our old buddy Derek Deems made the tackle once again, and he put on his usual post-play celebration.
Now Hank Cabo will line up for a 40-yard field goal attempt. A minute 9 to go. The clock is moving. It'll be angled off to the right side, and Hank will try to stick up a 40-yarder here. The snap is good. The kick is away. The kick is off to the left. Didn't hit it very well at all. And he missed that one. I mean, really, that's Hank's worst kick of the year.
I was about to say that, Larry. I believe that's the worst one he's kicked all year.
And he didn't hit that one well at all. Knocked well at all. Hit it off to the left. And it'll belong to the Trojans now from Gordon Lee. And they can, if they can drive down the field, they can score and tie this game. And they probably would go for 2 the way their kicker, Gus Hopkins, kicks. So it'll be their ball on the 20 with 56 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Walker just now getting into the huddle for Gordon Lee. Fort Payne still has Hardinger and Hill in there at the linebacker positions. 56 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Walker, your quarterback, has that wing formation, going to give it to the near side, and he's going to be up to the 25 and tackle down there short of the 25. Good gang tackling by Fort Payne. Darrell Prater is there, but also he got a lot of help there, Raj, and across the way a Gordon Lee player is down with a cramp, it looks like.
I think Dustin Hill made the first hit on the play there. As you said, that's something I started mentioning in the first half, Larry and Ronnie. One thing we have noticed tonight, really on tackles, there have been more gang tackling tonight. There have been more tacklers around the around each play than we've seen over the last at least couple of weeks.
Fort Payne has really gone to the football, and the defensive efforts this year have not been because of lack of effort. And now Gordon Lee, their player, runs off, and they had a manager out there with water, and he goes sprinting off the field now. Now Fort Payne's manager is out there with water, and I don't know what we're doing here.
I think both teams thought there was a timeout, but it was only an official timeout, and now they're running everybody off, and they'll start playing.
Second down and 6 now for Gordon Lee from the 24-yard line. With 40 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the clock is moving. Well, the clock was supposed to be moving. Still hadn't started. But this is Walker to the line of scrimmage, and Walker will send a man in motion. Ran his option play, and the fullback is really hit down there. And though the quarterback still has it, and he's thrown further behind the line.
And that's Scott Schrader coming through. Scott wasn't fooled on the play. Larry had him from the onset of the play around the jersey, couldn't toss him down, so finally he just jumps on him.
We have criticized this defense this year. We need to give them a lot of credit on that play. They stopped that option play as somebody in the middle had knocked the fullback Deems down, and then 2 or 3 players were on top of the quarterback and threw him for a loss. Here's third down and 8 with 7 seconds to go. And they may or may not get this play off. They're not going to get the play off. At the end of 3 quarters, the score is Fort Payne 21, Gordon Lee 14. We'll be back in 1 minute to bring you the fourth quarter on the Wildcat Sports Network. Back in 1 minute. Well, this one will be decided in the fourth quarter. Fort Payne leads it 21-14 as we head to the fourth and final quarter. But Roger, the defense has looked a lot better.
Well, there's been numerous signs the defense are getting better. First off, there's always been numerous tacklers around the play, gang tackling on it. If someone's missed a tackle, someone's been there to follow up. Just numerous things have happened tonight that shows us the defense has improved. 8
plays, Gordon Lee has gone for losses. And now here's a third down and 8. They're going to run back the pass. Going to throw the ball to the far side. It's going to be caught, and Joe Gray tackles him, and he's going to be short of the 30-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 2. That was a good tackle by Joe Gray.
Now, there's a good catch also by Deems again for Gordon Lee as he reached out with one hand and brought the pass in.
Deems is going to be a yard short of the first down, though, and Gordon Lee looks like they're going to go for it. Boy, this is a big play for Gordon Lee. If they don't make that first down, now they're going to get their kicking team in there now. It looks like. Well, no. I don't know. No, they're not.
Surprised they hadn't really called timeout here to talk about this. As confused as they look.
And this is fourth down. If Fort Payne's defense can stop them here, this could be your ball game. 4th and a yard. Walker is your quarterback. He's to the line of scrimmage. The power I set going to give it to the tailback, and he's going to be hit down and struggles and struggles and struggles. And
I don't
look
think
at the mark. It depends on the mark. And this official on this side who's supposed to be marking the play didn't even go in there to mark it. And where are they going to mark him?
They may give it to him.
Yeah, they give him a first down. Got it across the 30, and you'd like to see a little bit more hustle out of this officiating crew.
They're going to measure.
Why would they measure it if you get?
Ooh, it's close.
It's close, though.
Why would you have to measure it? If you got to the line, it's a first down. And it is right on that line. I don't know.
Actually, it looks short.
It looks like the first down marker is across the 30-yard line there.
It looks short if we're not being deceived.
It should be on the 20 because this drive started after Hank missed the field goal, so it should have started on the 20. And if they get to the 30, they stretch them out, and it is
short.
He didn't make it. Fort Payne's football, and now that defense has really got something to be proud of as they stick up there and stop Gordon Lee 4th and a yard and take over at the 30-yard line. Big play. That was a big play by the defense. Now Fort Payne can take it in for a touchdown and maybe put this thing away with 10:49 to go. And look at that defense on the sideline as they get the glad hand from everybody. And here is Fort Payne with 10:49 to go in the game. They lead it 21-14. Damien will roll the pass on a run-pass option, and he's going to throw the ball, going to keep the ball, and he's at the 30, 25, and dove it into the 24. Got tripped up from behind and dove on into the 24-yard line. Good job by Damien Underwood as he looked like he was going to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage and just ran away from a couple of guys and picked up 4 yards.
Well, Damien was really isolated on this side of the field, and the only people around him was Gordon Lee, folks, and there were probably about 7 guys chasing Damien. So he did probably what was the best thing for his health on that and hit the ground.
10:20 to go in the game. Fort Payne 21, Gordon Lee 14. Damien is to the line of scrimmage. He will send McElrath in motion, and McElrath has it. Has a block outside, cut it inside, got to the 20 on a penalty play. Flag came flying in there from the referee. This is probably going to be against the Wildcats. And check the flag. This one's probably going to be nullified. Well, the umpire threw the flag. He had gotten inside the 25. Illegal block. Clip against Fort Payne. That's a 15-yard step off. Ah, that hurt. 15-yard step off. And Coach Elmore is talking to the official and get some explanation for this one. I wouldn't have thought a clip if you keep it inside you ran the ball inside the tackles and you're allowed to block inside that neutral zone. Man alive, all the way back to the 43-yard line. Whew. They stepped the penalty off from the point of the foul, and now Fort Payne's got to get to the 20 for a first down, so it's second down and 23.
Really was a strange call to be a clip. As you said, play was a quick hitter right up the middle, and don't really see how Cliff had time to develop on the play.
Nope. Here is second down and long for Fort Payne, and Damien will roll straight back to pass, and he'll throw it. He has a man. It is complete. Thomas Brandon has it. Dropped it. Thomas dropped it. Dropped it down around the 32. Got hit and just dropped the football. And now flag comes flying in there. It's Thomas Brandon. What happened?
I believe it's going to be unsportsmanlike against Gordon Lee, Larry. I believe so.
Number 6 said something to Brandon, but I really thought he was just helping him up.
No. It was a little more than just helping him up. I believe it's going to be against Gordon Lee.
That'll get that 15 yards back if it were against Gordon Lee. They're going to the sideline to talk to the Gordon Lee coach.
It is.
So it will be against Gordon Lee. And he said something to Thomas Brandon there. And checked the dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Gordon Lee, which will be a 15-yard step off, but the penalty, the down counts. So it'll be third down for Fort Payne. And when they step it off, it's still going to be third and long for the Wildcats.
And the coach is talking to, that's Gus Hopkins over on the sideline, and the official is really giving them the what fors.
Step it down to the 29, so it'll be third down 9 for Fort Payne with 9:44 to go. Yeah, that's a big play. Fort Payne would have been third in about 22. Now they're third and 9, and probably got a couple of plays to make it in here. This will be Damien to the line of scrimmage, and he will send Bickerstaff in motion. Gave it to Beagles, found a big hole at the 20. He's going to go all the way. Randall Beagles broke it up the middle and went 29 yards for a touchdown. Randall Beagles goes galloping up the middle and goes 29 yards for a touchdown, and that Wildcat offensive line opened up a hole.
And Randall, I'm sure, is now over 150 yards for the game, Larry.
Well, you had this. We'll try to figure this up on the when we come back here. But with what is that? 3:33 to go now.
3:33. Oh, that's 9:33.
9:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Randall Beagles may have put this one away. Hank Cabo will try to kick up the point after and knocked it up there and knocked it through. 9:33 to go in the game. Fort Payne leads it 28-14 back in 30 seconds in the Wildcat Sports Network.
Our last touchdown drive.
Randall Beagles ran that trap play right at the heart of that Gordon Lee defense. Fort Payne's offensive line did a great job, and Beagles ran it in for a 28-14 lead.
Well, Larry, the last 3 touchdowns the Wildcats have produced have gone for, or has been scored on 3 plays, 5 plays, and now 3 plays again on this one.
79 yards carrying the ball the second half for Randall Beagles, and 68 the first half, so he's 147 yards. And Hank Cabo will kick it up there. Fort Payne with a 2-touchdown lead. And all this was set up when Gordon Lee went for it on 4th and a yard from their own 29-yard line, and Fort Payne stopped them. And Hank knocks this one back to the 10-yard line. Caught by the up man at the 10, and he's going to be up to the 25-yard line, and Fort Payne knocked him down short of the 30.
Tripped up by Josh Miller around the 25. He falls forward to the 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Gordon Lee.
So Fort Payne on defense now, and we see Fort Payne has Colin Dawson in there now at one of the defensive ends. So we'll try to check it out. Schrader is there. Colin Dawson is in there.
Jonathan Dryer's in at a linebacker spot.
Yep, so the linebackers are now Hardinger and Dryer.
58, Josh McClain also in at linebacker.
Josh McClain and Dryer in there now. And this will be Walker. Walker will run it up to the near side and gave it to the foot, kept it himself, and he's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. As Fort Payne's Josh McClain came in there, and Dryer, the 2 linebackers, knocked him down a yard behind the line of scrimmage. And this has really got to help Fort Payne's defense, the way they're playing tonight.
Well,
They haven't picked up a yard.
Excuse me, Larry.
Lost a yard.
sometimes not getting to start when you're accustomed to starting a game will put a little bit of get and go in you. It seems to have done that for a couple of these Wildcat defensive players.
Puts fire in their guts. 8:51 to go, and Fort Payne leads it 28-14. And this will be Walker to the line of scrimmage with wide out left and right. I think Walker's probably going to have to throw the football. Sends a man in motion, rolls back to throw, throws it to the far side. He's going to be incomplete.
Just
Bad call.
Bad
That's
call.
an awful call. As Joe Gray came up there and hit the receiver, and that's an awful call. The receiver, the official right there in front of him didn't make the call. That's about as bad as you get.
Actually, Joe was going for the ball. I said a moment ago I thought we might get one picked off center later, and really Joe was going for the ball, and I think both of them have an equal chance to catch the ball. It is a terrible call.
15-yard step off against Fort Payne, and that's about as bad as you can get. And coach on this sideline is talking to the referee, and he has a big smile on his face, and I think this official over here said, I didn't see it that way either, Coach. I think the only one that saw it that way was that back judge who came from a long way away to make an awful call. If you're going to make a call that way, you ought to be a little closer to it than he was. It's up to the 44-yard line. And really, you penalize Joe Gray for outstanding play. So here is Fort Payne crowd is a little upset over that call. And here's Gordon Lee to the 44-yard line. The quarterback is Walker, man in motion, going to run the read. He keeps it himself, Walker does. Going to throw it again down that far sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. And Joe Gray may have got away with a push off that time.
That may have been a no call by the official then.
Yeah, that was closer than the other play.
I was waiting on the flag to come, and I bet he was saying, I don't think I better throw the flag
Joe
again.
had his arm out, and that's all. It could have been pass interference on that play.
That was a lot closer than the other play.
Well, at least both players there were battling for the ball, and the you know, on the other play it was just bang bang. Yeah, that was closer than the other one.
Yeah. Fort Payne crowd still booing. 8:25 to go, 28-14. Wildcats is your score. And this is Walker. Walker's going to run his draw play. Found a hole, but not much of a hole. Closed in a hurry. Got it across the 50 to the 48, about a 6-yard gain. But Fort Payne came in there and closed that hole in a hurry. McLean was there along with somebody else.
Well, Jonathan Dreyer originally hit him. He couldn't bring him down. As you said, Josh McLean came in to finish him off.
It'll be third down and about 3 for Gordon Lee after that 7-yard gain. So Gordon Lee to the line of scrimmage, and you would think they'd probably go for it twice here if they don't make it on fourth down. They went, after all, they went on their 30-yard line a little while ago. Now they're at the Wildcat 49 with 7:50 to go. They trail by 2 touchdowns. This is your quarterback, Walker, to the line of scrimmage. And Walker will send the man in motion, pitch the man, the ball to the pitch man, and he's going to be across the 50 down to the 45. Got his first down at the, I think he got a first down to 45. Inside the 45, and it is a first down after the 4-yard gain by Justin Sims.
Yeah, he only had to get to the 46, Larry, so he does pick up a first down.
It's first down for the Trojans with 7:32 to go in the game. They're at the Fort Payne 44. This drive was kept alive by that very controversial pass interference call. And here will come wide out to the near side, and they send a wide out to the far side. The quarterback, Walker, will send man in motion and gave it up the middle, and he's going to be free at the 40. Down to the 35 and got knocked down there by Darrell Prater at the 33-yard line after a 13-yard run. But that was John Slack on the 13-yard gallop right up the middle. It's a quick trap, and he got through the heart of that Wildcat defense, and very quickly Jermaine Jackson will check into the lineup for Fort Payne, replacing Dreyer.
Well, Slack was very active the first quarter of the game, Larry. He kind of disappeared since that point. Now they've gone back to him with coming down on 7 minutes to go in the game. The Wildcats up by 14. Time's a big factor now again.
This will be Slack with the ball at the 40. Cut it back in to 35, and it's down to the 30. Yeah, Slack carried the ball the first four carries of the game were about Slack, and then he only carried it one other time the first half. That's his 4th carry of the second half.
Josh McLean makes the tackle after a pickup of about 3 yards.
He's carried for 25 yards this second half after going for 23 the first half. It is second down and 6 or 7 for the Trojans. 5:30 or is that 6:30?
6:30.
Have a
and
pole
counting
right between me and that number, so I have to ask for help there. Second down for Walker. Walker will send a man in motion and give it to the man in motion coming this way. Slack at the 30, broke it inside the 35, and he was kind of punished there. Fort Payne came up and gang tackled him at the 25, but another 3-yard gain will bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Trojans.
And getting off from top of it was number 1, Darrell Prater. Number 62 also in on the tackle, Dustin Hill. So a lot of pursuit by the Wildcats.
3rd and a couple for Gordon Lee at the Wildcat 26-yard line. Clock is not a factor yet. 5:47 to go. Fort Payne leads it by a couple of touchdowns. They have wideouts left and right. The quarterback Walker to the line of scrimmage. And he has that double wing set in the backfield behind him. Slacks in motion, and Slacks going to keep the ball. Walker did, sweeping to the far side. He has a blocker in front of him, and he's going to be chopped down over there. And now a flag comes flying in.
Yeah.
Fort Payne had a late hit. Somebody went in with their head gear down. May have been Josh McClain.
Yes.
And
Scott Schrader had tripped him, and he was on his way down. I think McClain may have followed up and picked up the penalty.
yeah, Josh speared him. The problem was, I'm not so sure it was a late hit, but he went in with his headgear, and it was a definite spear with 5:26 to go. That'll give them a 1st down. And Josh McClain is being replaced in the lineup by Hardinger, I guess. That would have been 4th down for the Trojans, but now it gives them a 1st down on the penalty. And it'll be where they mark the ball, at the 15, inside the 15 to the 11.
10, according to the scoreboard.
We'll go over the scoreboard then, at the 10-yard line. And it is, they can't get a 1st down, so it's just outside the 10.
To the 12, they mark it now.
This will be Walker to the line of scrimmage. Walker will give it to the fullback, and he's going to be tackled after he dove into the 10. That was the fullback, Derek Deems, who dove in there for a couple of yards down to the, gave him 3 yards on the play. And Deems has really been a workhorse this 2nd half, as he's carried 8-9 times already. 4:59 to go. And this will be Gordon Lee at the 9-yard line of Fort Payne. Quarterback under is Walker. Deems, Slack, and Sims are behind him, and this will be Sims in motion. Gave it up the middle of Deems again. He's hit down. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage or may have lost a yard, but he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. That was about a 1-yard loss for the fullback Deems.
Breaking through was none other than number 76, Brandon Waller, to make the tackle.
That's another minus yardage play for Gordon Lee. Fort Payne, that makes the 9th time tonight Fort Payne has thrown Gordon Lee behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and about 7 for the Trojans. 4:12 to go. Walker, your quarterback, sends a man in motion. He's going to run his option play to the far side. It's going to be tackled. A good tackle there by Fort Payne. As who was that?
I believe it was Van Burbel, wasn't it?
Van Burbel came in there and threw him another yard behind the line of scrimmage. So that's another tackle for minus yardage for this Fort Payne defense. 4th down, Gordon Lee calls timeout. It'll be 4th and 6 when we come back. 3:49 to go in the game. Fort Payne leads it 28-14. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. 4th down play, as the Fort Payne defense has really played well. Come up with a couple of minus yardage plays, and now it's 4th down and about 8 for this Gordon Lee team inside the Wildcat 10, Roger.
Well, the Wildcats thrown for consecutive losses here on the last 2 plays, and that'll be a 4th and 7. The ball is on the 9-yard line, and the Wildcats are up by 14.
Defensive secondary is Miller, Prater, Kennedy, and Gray. And I would think they're going to be tested, as Walker is probably going to put the ball in the air on this 4th down play. So here is Joey Walker to the line of scrimmage on a 4th down play. Walker will roll straight back to pass, throws it for the end zone. He is going to be complete for the touchdown. Beat Josh Miller down there. Josh was down there, was beaten badly for the touchdown pass with 3:41 to go.
He started out going inside, headed toward the far side pylon. He laid it over Josh Miller's head into the receiver's hands, and it's a touchdown.
So a 7-yard pass from Walker to Burns again, and they've cut it to 8. They'll now try to kick up the extra point, and this will be Hopkins. Hopkins will get the good snap, and the kick is up and barely nudged it through there. 3:41 to go in the football game. The score is now Fort Payne 28, Gordon Lee 21. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Roger, it looked like Joe Gray came awfully close to blocking that ball.
Well, you know, from here it's hard to say for sure, but it looked like he might have got a hand on the ball, and maybe that's all it needed to get the ball through the uprights. Looked like it was going to be wide left. Maybe Joe helped it a little bit there.
Fort Payne is expecting the onside kick as they have their hands people up around the 50-yard line, and Gordon Lee is going to onside kick it as they have everybody on this side of the field, and they're going to kick it to this near side where Josh Miller, McElrath, and Beagles are standing. 3:41 to go, and they're going to kick it to this near side of the field as they have everybody lined up over here. And the referee has sounded his whistle, and the kick is on the way, and the kick is bouncing. Fort Payne has it down the near sideline. Fort Payne's racing down this near sideline down to the 30-yard line. An outstanding play there by
Kenny Chadwick.
Chadwick picked that ball up around midfield and almost broke it for a touchdown. Heads-up play by Kenny Chadwick.
Well, one player, one defensive back for Gordon Lee is all that saved the Wildcats, or kept the Wildcats from scoring a touchdown, as Kenny Chadwick returns the kick.
It was a good kick by Hopkins. It bounced off 3 or 4 Wildcat players' hands, and then Chadwick picked it up and went racing down this near sideline and almost broke it. Beagles is in the backfield along with Damian Underwood and Prater and Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff in motion, and Bickerstaff will get the football, and he's in trouble. Broke the tackle, got back to the line of scrimmage, and struggled forward for maybe a yard. As Bickerstaff was tackled, let's see where they mark it down. They give him a yard, give him nothing. Right at the line of scrimmage.
He was pretty well pounded on that play.
He was hit awfully hard, you're right. 3:19 to go in the game. Clock is a factor now. Fort Payne don't need to score, I don't think, to win the game, but they need to knock some time off this clock. Need to get a couple of first downs. They have it at the 37-yard line. Damian Underwood is your quarterback, and Damian with a long count, and they jump in the neutral zone. Gordon Lee did. Gordon Lee jumped in the neutral zone. It'll be a 5-yard step off against the Trojans, and Gordon Lee points towards Fort Payne.
Oh, mark it against Fort Payne.
I think we had 2 people moving.
Nope.
Now they're signaling over there. I think we had 2 people moving.
Well, you guys are wrong, and you watch me. He's going to step off 5 yards against Gordon Lee.
Well, that's good.
See, there he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to the 32-yard line. 2:58 to go. That helps Fort Payne. 32-yard line. Now it's 2nd down and 5. Actually, about 4 the way they've got this marker set up. Now we're ready to go. Damian is to the line of scrimmage. He has Joe Gray in motion. Gave it up the middle to Randall Beagles, and Randall kept it himself, did Damian, and he's at the 30 and struggled for a couple of yards.
Flag.
Flag?
Hold against Fort Payne, Larry.
Fort Payne has really not been penalized that much, but the flags that were thrown have really hurt the Wildcats. Hold against the Wildcats is the correct call.
I believe they're calling it on number 31. That's is that BJ?
Bickerstaff.
That's Bickerstaff, and I think they were calling it on him.
And this official on this side always smiles when he comes over to see Coach Elmore.
That's a ploy they use.
Yeah.
You know, can't get mad at the guy that's smiling at you.
Well, why did Coach Elmore just punch him out?
Well, we're not supposed to do that.
He didn't do that, folks. 2:44 to go. It's back to the 44. This game's a lot more fun than the last 2.
Anytime you win, it's more fun, isn't it?
We still got to score another touchdown here. Put this thing away. Now all of a sudden it's 2nd and long from back at the 43-yard line. Fort Payne's got to get to about the 23 for a first down, so it's about 19 yards to go for a first down. The quarterback is Damian Underwood. He sends Bickerstaff in motion, gave it to found the hole, Randall Beagles. Randall got to the 30 to the 29-yard line. That's the first down for Fort Payne. As Randall, boy, he's quick.
Oh, man.
He was quick as a cat in that hole, picked up 19 yards and a Fort Payne first down. 2:32 to go. That might just do it, even if Fort Payne doesn't get it in, if they can hang on to it. Boy, he got to that hole in a hurry.
He sure did. He was in the backfield quickly.
From the 27-yard line, Fort Payne with the ball, 2:20 to go. Clock is moving. Fort Payne leads it 28-21. Randall getting close to 200 yards. Bickerstaff in motion, and Randall has it again, and he's tackled from behind. somebody came in there and grabbed him around the ankles, and Randall dove forward for a yard.
Well, Larry, by looking at the actions of the guy that tackled him after the play, I bet you could guess who it was without even looking.
Number 21.
Absolutely, again, 21. That was Derek Deems making the tackle, and he just has a cute little celebration he does every time he tackles somebody.
Just enjoying life, ain't he?
Life's whatever.
Randall
Some kind of commercial, I don't know.
Randall Beagles has 168 yards, if I'm correct, and I don't think I am. I'll have to re-add that in a minute. A minute 37 to go. Fort Payne now, flag comes flying in there, and Fort Payne's going to be penalized for a delay, and Coach Elmore is hopping mad. And he's going to go out and call timeout, and Coach Elmore was checking the time, and he was watching that clock, and that's not a 5-yard penalty. And he's calling the referee to the sideline. He was looking at his clock and was going to tell Damien when to snap the ball, and the back judge, the same guy that threw that pass interference call a little while ago, by the way. And they think, well, do you think they're going to wave this one off? They're going to wave this one off.
Coach may have forgot we're on Eastern time over here in Georgia.
Yep.
And didn't compensate.
It's a delay of game, 5-yard step off. Coach Elmore has called a timeout. So while he talks to the officials, we'll go ahead and pause. A minute 34 to go. Fort Payne leads it 28-21 back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Coach Elmore has had an animated conversation with the referee, and the rack judge is going over there, and he's talking to the back judge. Coach Elmore was looking at the clock, and he was telling Damien when to snap the ball, and they're having an animated conversation with the back judge, and that back judge is standing there shaking his head, and Coach Elmore is livid. And the back judge says, no, I got it right. We are on Georgia time. A minute 37, and look at Coach Elmore. Look at Coach Elmore. He is fit to be tied. That's, well, let's see if we can just overcome it. Give it to Randall a couple of times and see if Fort Payne can get the first down. It is second down for Fort Payne, and they send Joe Gray in motion and going to give it on to McElrath. Found the hole, got it to the 30, 25, and he's down to the 20-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, but not short by much. Fort Payne needs about 3 yards for the first down. And now who called the timeout? The Trojans called timeout from Gordon Lee with a minute 23 to go. And that was Elliot McElrath on the run. Back in 30 seconds. We'll go ahead and pause. It'll be 3rd down and 2 when we come back on the Wildcat Sports Network with the score of Fort Payne 28, Gordon Lee 21, back in 30 seconds. Third down and 2 for Fort Payne after the 14-yard run by Elliot McElrath. So Fort Payne, with a minute 23 to go, is maybe about to win game number 4, go to 4-2. But the real season will start next week. And Fort Payne takes on their first area opponent, Albertville. Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 2. With a minute 23 to go in the game, Fort Payne by a touchdown. They send McElrath in motion, give it to Beagles, and Randall butts his way in there and fought his way inside the 20 down to the 18. I think he's got his first down. Well, let's check this spot. Well, the referee on this side says 4th down. And they're going to mark him half a yard short. Well, they're going to call timeout to measure.
Patrick Tate was signaling first down.
Well, that's probably right then if Patrick signals first down. It's 170 yards for Randall Beagles. And it'll be 4th down or 1st down. Fort Payne would go for it at any rate with a minute 10 to go. And they're going to stretch the chains when they get the chains out there.
It will be short.
And it will be short by 2 feet. And there goes number 21 leaping in the air again.
He's one happy guy.
He is a happy camper. 4th down and a yard for Fort Payne. And they're going to, well, I don't know. Would you go for it here? Would you send Hank in to kick up there? They're going to go for it. Fort Payne would go for it, needing a yard for the first down. And first down would put it out of reach. With a minute 9 and the clock is moving. Damien is to the line of scrimmage. Damien will wait as they're going to run that clock down as far as they can get it. We're under a minute now, and Damien still looks to the sideline. 50, better watch that back, Judge. Now Damien will slip underneath the center there. and give it to Randall Beagles, and Beagles got his first down as he dove in there for 2 yards and a first down. Is there a flag down? No. First down for Fort Payne. 172 yards for Randall Beagles, and we're down to 45 seconds to go. Clock should be running, but it is not running. Now they try to get it started, and they do get it started with 43 seconds to go. And Fort Payne can run one play, and it'll be over with. And Fort Payne would be a big win for the Wildcats. And Coach Elmore is once again ready to go as he sends a play in, and Damien will give the ball to Darrell Prater, and Darrell found a hole at the 15. 10-5 touchdown, Darrell Prater. Flag now. What's that flag coming in there for?
What is that?
They threw a flag in there. That's that back judge again. The ball was in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown, but he threw a flag in there, and I don't know what that was about. What in the world is that flag about? It'll be a touchdown for Darrell Prater. Dead ball foul, personal foul against them.
Yeah.
That's probably a late hit. That's a good call there by these guys. These guys are doing a good job. So he went how far?
15 yards and a touchdown.
It'll be a touchdown. Makes it 34-21 as Darrell Prater goes. He's had a good night tonight. Goes 15 yards. It'll be penalized on the kickoff against, I didn't really see anything that warranted a penalty.
He threw it at about the same time the guy went to tackle Darrell, so I don't really understand what that would be.
Darrell was only a yard into the end zone when the guy hit him, and I don't see how you could penalize him for that.
It must have happened away from Darrell. Must have been on one of the blockers or something.
So Darrell Prater goes 15 yards for the touchdown. Hank Cobble will try to stay perfect for the year. He got a good snap, kicked it up there, and knocked it through. 15 seconds to go. Fort Payne leads it 35-21. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Back here at Bobby Chapel Field, and still waiting to step off the penalty here as that penalty was thrown against the Gordon Lee team. And they called a late hit, but nobody up here saw it, but we'll take it. Now they're going to step off a 15-yard. Well, they're not even going to step off the penalty.
What?
Well,
I thought there was a flag on the play.
There was a flag. Now, where's the penalty?
Maybe we declined it or something.
Yeah, I guess we did. They're going to kick it off from the 40, and there's no penalty that's been stepped off anywhere. So maybe they just forgot about it.
Where did they place the ball on the extra point attempt? Did they have it on the 1.5?
It was on the 3. And he squibs the ball, does Hank. That's what Fort Payne may have declined the penalty, so Hank could squib it. And here's Josh Miller making the tackle at the 31-yard line. And now Fort Payne crawls in there, and about 8 people snow him. Now a flag comes flying in there. And one of the Gordon Lee players was in there pushing Cameron Kennedy around, and it'll be a step off against Gordon Lee, I think.
Well, we'll have to see.
Cameron Kennedy was clapping his hands, as were some of the other players, and it looked like number 72, that 215-pound senior Andy Edwards, was in there doing some taunting against the Fort Payne defense.
Looked like our buddy is the line judge on the near side threw that one for us.
He's doing a good job. That's his first flag of the night.
It's going to be against Fort Payne.
No.
Now he throws another flag.
That's not a good job.
I don't think it's against Fort Payne.
I was a bit surprised we didn't get a flag because I think one of our players came in with a helmet a little late, and I thought, well, maybe we're getting away with that. But I really don't think that's what this guy saw.
No, he threw something else after the play was almost already dead. And now that's what's the call? Dead ball foul, personal foul against Gordon Lee. Dead ball foul, personal foul against Fort Payne. Okay. Let's get this last 8 seconds over with and get out of here.
So maybe they saw the original spear, then they retaliated, and so they cancel out. And gosh, 8 seconds, we're out of here.
This will be Walker throws it long down the middle, and it is going to be incomplete. Incomplete, as Fort Payne did a good job of batting it away with 3 seconds to go. Walker 2 of 4 for 21 yards this second half. 3 seconds to go. And Walker will get one more crack at it. for Payne with defensive backs Kennedy, Thompson, Prater, and Miller back deep, Gray back deep. And Walker's going to throw it as far as he can, and it's batted and incomplete, and that's it. So Fort Payne wins it by a score of 35-21. The Wildcats have broken a 2-game losing streak, and next week the Wildcats will be home to start the real season as they take on the Albertville Aggies.